Welcome, miladies of inestimable value. When you aim to destroy someone who thrives in silence, be prepared to fight an enemy who doesn't even flinch. Here's the thing. People often underestimate Sigma females because they're not loud, dramatic, or constantly seeking validation. But that's their greatest weapon. Did you know studies show that the most emotionally intelligent people are the least reactive? Now imagine trying to hurt someone whose entire identity revolves around staying calm, analyzing chaos, and flipping the script before you even know what's happening. Hurting a Sigma female is like trying to punch water. You only end up making a mess for yourself. And the best part? She won't even waste energy retaliating in a conventional way. While you're busy plotting her downfall, she's busy using that same energy to glow up so hard, you'll start wondering if you're the one who needs therapy. Buckle up, because what you're about to learn will make you think twice before crossing her path. Number 1. She thrives on the underdog advantage. Sigma females are at their most dangerous when underestimated. People who try to hurt them often assume that their quiet, reserved nature is a sign of weakness. What they fail to realize is that Sigma females thrive in situations where others count them out. That underdog status, it's not a disadvantage, it's their secret weapon. When someone tries to knock them down, they don't waste time sulking or plotting petty revenge. Instead, they focus on flipping the entire situation to their advantage. A Sigma female knows how to channel every ounce of negativity thrown at her into something productive. Every insult, every betrayal, every attempt to tear her down only adds fuel to her fire. She doesn't need a cheering crowd or a pity party to get back on her feet. She uses the solitude others assume will crush her to become sharper, stronger, and more unstoppable. The beauty of this is how subtle her rise is. While her enemies are busy celebrating her supposed downfall, she's quietly working behind the scenes, building something extraordinary. By the time they realize she's not only survived, but thrived, it's too late to do anything about it. They're left sitting in the rubble of their own failure, wondering how she managed to turn the tables so effortlessly. Underestimating a Sigma female isn't just a mistake, it's a complete miscalculation of her character. She's not just surviving the battle, she's using it as an opportunity to rewrite the rules of the game. The very attempts to hurt her only make her more powerful, leaving her enemies stunned and, quite frankly, embarrassed. If there's one thing she thrives on, it's proving people wrong, and when she does, she doesn't just win. She wins in a way that leaves a lasting impact. Number 2, she'll outlast you. Sigma females are built for the long game. While others get caught up in the thrill of short-term wins or petty victories, a Sigma knows the real power lies in staying steady and focused. People who try to bring her down often operate on borrowed time, burning themselves out with schemes, drama, and unnecessary energy spent trying to make her stumble. But a Sigma female? She's not running the same race as you. Her pace is calculated, her moves deliberate, and her resilience unmatched. She understands that endurance is her greatest strength. Life has taught her that storms pass, enemies fade, and time has a way of exposing what's real. So while someone is busy plotting her downfall, she's quietly laying bricks for her future, building something solid that no one can tear apart. What's even more remarkable is her ability to stay unbothered throughout the chaos. The more someone tries to rattle her, the more she doubles down on her purpose, making their efforts look like a childish tantrum in the face of her quiet composure. Her long game isn't just about survival, it's about thriving. She's not content with just getting through the battle. She's focused on emerging stronger, smarter, and more powerful. And by the time her enemies are exhausted, worn out by their own desperation, she's still standing, not just unscathed, but elevated. It's a harsh truth for anyone who tries to hurt her. You'll burn out long before she even breaks a sweat. While you're left in the ashes of your own efforts, she'll still be rising, a testament to the fact that endurance always outlasts aggression. Number 3. You'll lose access to her. A Sigma female is not someone you can afford to lose, and when you cross her, there's no coming back. She doesn't do the back and forth, the endless apologies, or the cycle of betrayal and forgiveness. If you deliberately hurt her, that's it. You've lost access to her entirely. And trust me, that loss is going to sting in ways you didn't anticipate. Her presence isn't just rare, it's magnetic. She brings something to your life that most people can't replicate. Whether it's her unique perspective, her unwavering loyalty, or the way she inspires without even trying. When she walks away, you don't just lose a person, you lose the energy and light she brought to the table. And that kind of absence? It doesn't just leave a void. It leaves an ache, like a piece of your soul has gone missing. What makes it worse is that Sigma females never leave with drama or theatrics. They won't throw a fit or give you a drawn-out goodbye. They simply disappear, and their silence will haunt you. While you're sitting there trying to figure out how to fix it, she's already moved on, closing the chapter as if you were never part of the story. It's the finality of her decision that cuts the deepest. You'll quickly realize that her kind of connection isn't something you can replace with just anyone. And the harsh truth? Once a Sigma female decides she's done with you, the emptiness she leaves behind will be your burden to carry, not hers. Number 4. She's already planned for betrayal. A Sigma female doesn't walk through life with blinders on. She's not naive enough to think everyone has good intentions, nor does she gamble her trust away freely. If someone tries to betray her, they're not catching her off guard. They're just confirming something she already suspected. She's the type to observe quietly, picking up on subtle patterns in behavior that most people overlook. By the time someone makes their move, she's already calculated the risks and prepared her next steps. This isn't paranoia, it's self-preservation. A Sigma female knows human nature all too well. She understands that not everyone operates with integrity, so she keeps a protective distance while still allowing people to reveal who they really are. And when someone finally shows their hand, she doesn't crumble. She simply enacts the plan she had ready all along. Her contingency plans aren't dramatic acts of revenge. They're clean, calculated ways to remove herself from harm. Whether it's cutting ties, exposing the betrayal without lifting a finger, or redirecting her energy to something more meaningful, she neutralizes the attack without letting it disrupt her inner peace. It's a kind of quiet power that leaves her enemies stunned, realizing too late that their schemes were futile from the start. Betraying a Sigma female is like walking into a trap you didn't even know was set. She doesn't just survive the betrayal, she comes out of it completely unfazed, while the person who tried to harm her is left scrambling to deal with the fallout. If there's one thing you should know, it's this. Hurting a Sigma isn't just a mistake. It's playing a game you were destined to lose. Number 5, she makes your life a mirror. Trying to hurt a Sigma female is like throwing a boomerang without realizing it's headed straight back to you. Somehow the energy you direct at her, whether it's negativity, betrayal, or sabotage, finds its way back into your own life, amplified and messy. It's as if the universe itself refuses to let her be a victim and instead flips the script, making you face the very chaos you tried to create. This isn't magic or karma, it's the power of her alignment. Sigma females operate so strongly within their values and boundaries that any attempt to disrupt their peace feels unnatural, like trying to bend steel with your bare hands. They exude a confidence and clarity that's rooted in authenticity, and the universe seems to reward that kind of integrity. So when you try to tear her down, it's not just her resilience you're fighting against, it's the ripple effect of a life lived with purpose. What makes it even more brutal is how effortlessly it happens. She doesn't lift a finger to retaliate. While you're scrambling to manage the fallout of your actions, she's continuing to thrive, unbothered and seemingly untouched. The very act of trying to harm her forces you to confront your own shortcomings, insecurities, and bad intentions. It's like being handed a mirror you didn't ask for, one that reflects the worst parts of yourself. By the time you realize what's happening, it's too late. The havoc you unleashed isn't just external, it's internal, leaving you with questions you can't answer and consequences you can't avoid. Meanwhile, the Sigma female remains unshaken, a testament to how living in alignment with your values makes you untouchable in ways most people can't comprehend. Number 6. You'll look like the villain. Hurting a Sigma female is the fastest way to cast yourself as the villain in your own story. She doesn't need to argue, make a scene, or rally people against you. Her calm, composed response does all the work. While you're busy trying to inflict damage, her lack of reaction puts the spotlight squarely on you, making it painfully obvious who the toxic one is. Her refusal to engage in petty drama leaves you flailing in your own negativity, You might expect her to lash out or crumble, but instead she opts for silence, leaving your actions to speak louder than anything she could say. And that silence, it's deafening. People notice. They start connecting the dots without her ever saying a word. Suddenly, your attempt to paint her as the problem backfires, and you're the one standing in the glaring light of scrutiny. What's worse is how natural it all feels. She's not manipulating the narrative. She doesn't have to. Her integrity, combined with her ability to stay composed under pressure, naturally draws people to her side. The harder you try to hurt her, the more obvious it becomes that you're fighting a battle against someone who refuses to stoop to your level. By the end of it, you're left with a reputation that reeks of bitterness and desperation, while she walks away unscathed, quietly thriving. The harsh truth: a Sigma female's calmness doesn't just protect her, it magnifies your flaws, leaving you exposed in the worst possible way. In trying to hurt her, you end up sabotaging yourself. Number 7. She doesn't need to defend herself. A Sigma female knows the power of silence and self-assurance. When someone tries to hurt her reputation or spread lies about her, she doesn't waste time defending herself. She understands that the truth doesn't need a PR campaign. It stands on its own, and time always exposes what's real. While her detractors are busy crafting stories, building alliances, and throwing shade, she's quietly continuing to live her life with authenticity. Her actions speak louder than any rumor ever could. She doesn't engage in the mudslinging or try to set the record straight. Why? Because she knows that engaging with nonsense only gives it power. Instead, she lets her consistent behavior, integrity, and character do the talking. People who know her, and even those observing from a distance, quickly start to notice a glaring mismatch between the lies being told and the reality of who she is. And here's where it backfires spectacularly for her enemies. The more effort they put into tearing her down, the more obvious their motives become. Over time, their attempts to discredit her start to look desperate, petty, and frankly pathetic. Meanwhile, she remains unbothered, making her seem even stronger and more composed. The beauty of this approach is that it's effortless. She doesn't have to waste energy battling false narratives because they collapse under their own weight. The people who matter will see the truth without her lifting a finger. And for those who believe the lies, they're not people she needs in her life anyway. In the end, her refusal to defend herself not only protects her peace, but also ensures that those who tried to harm her end up damaging their own credibility far more than hers. Number 8. Your weakness becomes obvious. When you try to hurt a Sigma female, you're not just revealing your intentions, you're unintentionally exposing everything you're trying to hide about yourself. Your actions become a loudspeaker for your insecurities, jealousy, or lack of character. And the worst part? She doesn't even have to lift a finger to make it happen. While you're busy plotting, attacking, or undermining her, you're putting your weaknesses on full display for everyone to see. It's like trying to throw mud on someone who's standing on a mountain. The higher she stands in her integrity, the more obvious your efforts look like a desperate attempt to bring her down. People start to question why you're so fixated on her. Is it jealousy, intimidation, a bruised ego? Whatever it is, the more you try, the more you confirm that the issue lies with you, not her. The beauty of a Sigma female is her calm neutrality. She won't fight back or stoop to your level, which only highlights the contrast between her strength and your pettiness. Without saying a word, she forces people to see the truth, that your actions are a reflection of your own inadequacies. Whether it's envy over her success, resentment toward her independence, or bitterness because you couldn't control her, your motives become crystal clear. And here's the kicker. While you're exposing your weaknesses, she's growing stronger. Her refusal to engage amplifies her power, making her seem untouchable. By the time you realize how much of yourself you've revealed, it's too late. She's already moved on, while you're left dealing with the fallout of your own actions, wondering how you managed to make yourself the villain of the story. Number 9, you'll drain your energy, not hers. Trying to hurt a Sigma female is like trying to drain an ocean with a spoon. The more energy you pour into it, the more it drains you while she remains untouched. Sigma females don't waste time or energy on negativity. They've mastered the art of emotional detachment, so when you try to provoke or harm them, It's your own emotional well-being that starts to deteriorate, not theirs. As you plot, stew, and strategize to bring her down, you're slowly sinking into a pit of frustration, resentment, and bitterness. Every thought you give to the attack, every ounce of energy you invest in making her feel small, only serves to chip away at your own peace. She, on the other hand, has already moved on. You're fighting with ghosts while she's simply living her life, completely unaffected by your efforts. The Sigma female's strength is in her ability to remain focused on what truly matters to her. She doesn't get caught up in drama or toxicity. When someone tries to hurt her, she doesn't need to respond or retaliate. Her indifference is like a shield, rendering your attacks futile. While you're emotionally spinning your wheels, she's calmly walking away, maintaining her sense of peace and purpose. In the end, you'll realize that the real loser in this situation is you. You'll have drained yourself, both mentally and emotionally, while she remains unscathed, proving that the one who tries to drag a Sigma down only ends up dragging themselves down instead. Number 10. She'll expose your insecurity without lifting a finger. When you try to hurt a Sigma female, you're not just attacking her, you're exposing everything you'd rather keep hidden. She doesn't need to lift a finger or say a word. Her calmness and poise make your desperation so glaringly obvious that it becomes impossible to ignore. As you lash out, you only highlight your own insecurities, and in that moment, it's not her who looks weak, it's you. The Sigma female doesn't need to react to every jab thrown her way. She's built differently, focused on her own journey and goals, and her indifference becomes the ultimate weapon. While you're caught up in the noise of your own frustration, she stays silent, letting your actions speak for themselves. And in that silence, your own flaws start to echo, louder and more painfully than anything she could ever say. It's a power dynamic that works in her favor every time. The more you try to hurt her, the more you reveal about yourself, your jealousy, your insecurity, your inability to control your emotions. In the end, it's not her reputation that's damaged, it's yours. And everyone who's watching will see it for what it is. You've made the mistake of trying to break someone who isn't even fazed, and in doing so, you've only broken yourself. In the end, trying to hurt a Sigma female is like fighting a battle you'll never win, because the truth is, she doesn't need to engage in the war. Her strength lies in her silence, her resilience, and her ability to remain untouched by the negativity you throw at her. While you waste your energy trying to tear her down, she effortlessly rises above it, unaffected and unwavering. Your attacks expose your own weaknesses and insecurities, while her integrity shines brighter than any of your attempts to bring her down. The harsh reality is that in trying to hurt her, you're not only draining yourself emotionally, but you're also revealing your own flaws. The more you push, the more you hurt yourself, while she walks away, stronger, smarter, and more powerful. You cannot break someone who's already broken free from the chains of drama, insecurity, and toxicity. So here's the truth. When you try to hurt a Sigma female, you don't just lose the battle. You lose yourself. She remains untouchable, while you're left tangled in the web of your own bitterness. It's a hard pill to swallow, but the sooner you realize it, the sooner you'll understand that she's not the one you should be worried about. If you've made it this far, you've seen the truth for what it is. So why not stick around and get more insights like these? Hit that subscribe button and join the journey. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Trust me, there's a lot more where this came from. Stay tuned, stay strong, and don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, my ladies. See you in the next video. Bye for now, and God bless.